Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. All right, today is Wednesday, February 23rd, and I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio, 860 AM in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. Hey, you can find me on Facebook, TikTok, and other social media, and pretty soon, Truth Social. That is really hard to say, by searching Larry Steinhouse. Hey, just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. By the way, the YouTube channel is back. It's Money Chat Now. It's hard to find, but if you can find it, great. But also like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook, and you can comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And please say hi so I know you're watching. And I'm going to say hi to a couple people online right now. Hey, Wendy. Hey, Tom. Hey, Joe. And hey, Jose. Hey, Jose. That's interesting. All right. By the way, if you're commenting from a group and not the Money Chat Now fan page, your name may not show up on the dashboard. So please go to Money Chat Now page and comment there so I can recognize you. All right, Money Chat Now is, of course, brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class tomorrow night by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock option trading from those who do it every day, and we will teach you some really cool stuff. And real quick, I'm going to say hello to Carrie. Thank you for watching, Carrie. Totally appreciate it. All right, on today's show, of course, I'm going to be discussing the futures update. We're going to be talking about the Ukraine, and we're going to be talking about how the war can affect interest rates. We're going to be talking about a new smartphone, and is Tesla racist? Oh my! We're going to find out. All right, of course, let's go right into the futures update and talk about what happened yesterday. Look, so yesterday was bad, and I knew it was going to be bad, but I really thought it was actually going to be worse. I was expecting a 1,000-point drop, and although the Dow was down over 600 points during the day at one point, and that was about 2 o'clock, it only finished down 480 points. All right, I know that's pretty bad, but I was still expecting worse than 480 points. The S&P, however, did hit correction territory, and that means it is 10% below the high on January 3rd. That's not good. That's a little scary. But if you had any stocks yesterday, they probably moved lower, and there really were no sectors that made money except part of the household goods sector. You know, Heinz actually led the pack yesterday, and it jumped about 5%. As I mentioned yesterday, stocks like household goods would be a good place for investors to run for safety, and of course they did, right? In my opinion, it's short-term thinking. However, the fear of the market continuing to tank is on the mind of all the investors. They're going to hide out there, and they're going to wait the market out. I also, just to let you know, I tend to do this for periods of time too, when I'm expecting it to be bad. So I may hide money in relatively low-risk stock while I wait for the market to start back up. And, you know, I also warned you guys that the end of February is usually brutal, and here it is. It seems year after year after year that the end of February is brutal, and this is what's happening. Like, I also know there are outside factors, but somehow it seems to always happen in February. We always get weird outside factors in February. I don't know. It seems to happen that way. About mid-March, we should start to see a comeback, and I suggest you start buying now and play into March, April. Remember, stocks like Meta and Apple will have their earnings at the end of April, and mid-March is a good time to start buying. I'm going to tell you, keep some cash open or buy some low-risk stocks and sell covered calls while you wait. If you don't know how to sell covered calls, I'm telling you, this is the greatest way to actually make a little extra money. You know, you can make an extra $500-600 a week just selling covered calls if you know how. All right, let's talk about what the Dow is right now. The Dow is actually up 182 points. The S&P is up 28, and the NASDAQ is up almost 144 points. So it might be a pretty nice day. We'll have to see how it plays out. Real quick, I'm going to say hello to Mick online. I'm going to say hello to James, Harold, and Bill. And Bill is reminding me that it's a happy hump day. So definitely, definitely thank you, Bill, for reminding me that it's hump day. All right, let's talk about the Ukraine. I got to be honest, I don't even know where to begin to report the news on the non-war. First of all, it's a good thing the war isn't a medical procedure, or I wouldn't be allowed to give my opinion on it for the fear that I would be thrown off social media. Well, here's my opinion of this situation. You ready? The war is already over. I have followed the science here, the political science that is, and I declare the war is over. Yes, it's all political science, just like the scamdemic, but here's the explanation. Putin has what he wants for now, and basically that's it, right? He wants the people who, and by the way, the only people who can antagonize him are the leaders of other countries, such as, this one. So Putin, along with China's Xi, have declared that they are the new superpower, and I gotta be honest with you, unfortunately, I agree. Here's the current world order. Ready? Russia, China, Canada, and the United States. Oh, by the way, Canada isn't number 3 in the world order, but the truckers made it number 3 in the world order, and now that coward Trudeau punished all his citizens by shutting down the banking system, the truckers are moving on, pushing it back to number 10. Anyway, the fact that Putin simply doesn't care what the United States or the Allies are doing is the problem. Putin has more power, and with his alliance with China, no one's going to be able to stop him. And this is why I believe the Ukraine war is over. Putin basically walked into the country and said, I control this portion now, and if you don't like that, I'll put someone in charge who will like it. It's almost like the mafia shaking down a store owner for protection. The store owner knows that even the cops in the area are on a payroll, so who can they go to? Ukraine is now in control of themselves, but they are under the iron fist of Putin, and no one will come to their aid. You will soon see that the so-called escalation will disappear from the headlines, unless, of course, brain-dead Biden and the other idiots provoke Putin into war. Putin is also testing the other countries to see who will get in the way if Putin really decides to take over the entire area. He is testing to see who will move troops in the area, and he is testing to see what sanctions the countries will impose. We all know that Putin has stockpiled the supplies such as precious metals and oils in preparation for the sanctions, and we know that the sanctions are a joke, or at least a minor inconvenience, or most, I should say, a minor inconvenience to the Russians. Watch it play out over the next few weeks. As I said, the troops will withdraw, and Ukraine will tell the rest of the world that all is well. By the way, if the Allies had any balls, they would allow Ukraine to decide if it wants to be part of NATO and allow them in if they want to. But because we have weak leadership, that option is completely off the table. And that's what's going on over there on the other side of the world. By the way, I want to remind you guys, we also have a meet and greet tonight at Chambers. So if you guys want to stop by Chambers 19 restaurant in Doylestown, we'll be there from 7 to 9. It's always a good time. We always have a good time having a couple of drinks, talking about real estate, talking about the stock market, talking about my show, whatever. I'll be wearing one of my fancy jackets, and we'll be discussing all of that. So please stop by Chambers 19 in Doylestown. That's at 7 o'clock tonight, and I'm hoping I will see you there. Let's talk about interest rates and the war. So we've seen it mentioned again and again that the Fed will be raising interest rates. We are told it will be 2 to 4 times this year, and the first rate rise will probably be in March, right? But will it really happen in March? We now have the fear of war, right, that I think, like I said before, is already over, but people at a much higher pay grade, much lower pay grade actually than me, say it hasn't even started yet, so the Fed may hold off their decision to raise the rates. The Fed is weighing the decision, and some say they will be raising interest rates 0.5 point in March. Whew. I actually hope not. Although I've been saying over and over again that they should have raised rates a long time ago, I don't think they should do a quick 0.5 point rate. It would be bad. With the threat of war, the Fed needs to be very delicate here because the fears instilled by our government will cause consumer confidence to drop, and that will mean spending will drop. Look, I just keep going back to George Orwell's classic 1984. If you remember, the statement in there is, war is peace, freedom is slavery, and ignorance is strength. The party believed that if they could endlessly engage in a war to keep peace that they would endlessly engage in war to keep peace in the country. It's amazing, and it's exactly what we're seeing. Well, now that the government can no longer control us with the fear of the scamdemic, the fear of war now needs to replace it. It's actually a sad existence for most people who actually believe in the nonsense that the government uses to control their people. Anyway, if the Fed raises the rates with the consumer confidence lowered, the stock market and the housing market are both going to drop. I'm also noticing something else. I'm noticing that if I remember back in 2006 and 2007, I noticed that all these small online real estate brokerages saying they will sell your house for cheap fees, or they will list your house for no fees, or even have some other type of discount service brokerage. They've all been up, they're all coming back, and they're all making these claims to save people money. This was rampant in 2006 and 7, and then, boom, they were all gone when the market dropped out. With the rates rising, inflation rising, and the appearance of all these new companies, and the fact that government flooded the country with free money like they did in 2001, I'm telling you, prepare for another 2008-ish scenario. I expect many people to be in situations like they were in 2008, and I hope you're prepared for it. By the way, I suggest you come to Investor Schooling tomorrow night, and you can find out how by listening to this commercial.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank you all for listening on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia. And if you're watching online, please hit that share button so you can help your friends learn how to make more money. Hey, hit that like button and let me know you enjoy the show. And you can also leave comments on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube, and I'll try to respond to them. All right, let's get into the second half. But first of all, we've been discussing, of course, the futures update. And first of all, the Dow is now up 179, the S&P is up 28, and the NASDAQ is up 147. That's pretty awesome. So we talked about Ukraine and we talked about the war and interest rates. So coming up, we have some new a new smartphone coming out, a new smartphone company coming out, that is. And I'm going to pose the question, is Tesla racist? And then, of course, we have today's picks and plays. But first, did you guys hit that like button? Did you hit that share button yet? Come on there. I see you, Bill. I see you, Harold. Come on, James. Hit that share button. Let everybody know that you're enjoying the show. Don't forget to leave comments. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure and set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. Also, look up Money Chat Now on Facebook when you get home, and let me know what you think of the show. All right, let's talk about this new smartphone company. So it appears that probably the greatest invention of the century is the iPhone. And, it also brought, of course, many lookalikes and competitors like Samsung and others to compete in the market. A new brand, by the way, is being launched in China, that is, called Realme. So it's actually been around for a couple of years. It's called Realme. This is a brand of smartphones that hope to compete with Samsung and Apple for a really small part of the market share. Now, it's interesting because it's priced about 2/3 the price of the competitors, and it has similar types of feature. Now, Realme is really not well known to consumers in Western Europe or even the US, but it's been growing quickly. In the fourth quarter, Realme shipped 20 million, or almost 21 million smartphones, which is up 48% year-on-year basis, according to some data. Apple, meanwhile, saw a decline, while Samsung saw just 8% growth. Yeah, that's because they saturated the market. It's very different when no one knows who you are and you increase 48%. But anyway, does it really mean that Realme is gaining on the competitors? No, I don't think so. But we will certainly see in a few years. However, I'm still avoiding Chinese stocks, as Chinese China's Z, right, makes it very difficult for the Chinese companies to actually make a profit and keep a profit. A recent article on an old favorite stock of mine, Alibaba, lost a lot of money on that stock, suggested that the company will have its worst year ever for growth when they report earnings tomorrow. We're going to find out. The market is looking at bad guidance as the Chinese government clamps down on the economy. And check this out. They're continuing to instill the fear of coronavirus in China. China just keeps the fear going as fear makes the people more submissive. So when there's fear, you're more submissive. I wonder if they even know that our cases in the United States, I don't even know if you know this, are actually down 90% from the peak of the surge. That's what, you know why, right? Because nobody's wearing masks anymore, so it's actually down 90%. Or maybe their country hasn't realized the hoax that was portrayed on them as this country has, right? We all know it's a hoax at this point. Look for Realme phones in stores and you can say, ooh, look, another cheap Chinese knockoff. As for me, I'm definitely sticking with my iPhone. Let's talk about Tesla. Oh my goodness. Have you noticed that if you're white, successful, and rich, and you go against the narrative, you're considered a racist? My goodness, I would think that every liberal nutcase on the planet would call me a racist. So they're calling me a racist, right? Because, well, have you listened to my show? I have said that Biden is a racist. Oh, and I certainly proved it several times. I have that, the thing, a scamdemic that is not a pandemic. And of course, I currently have no black employees. Just 2 Jews and an Italian, so I must be racist. Well, of course, we have Elon Musk, who is the most outspoken person against the ridiculousness of the liberals. And although he brings in billions of dollars of tax dollars and employs several thousands of workers, the liberal needs to find something wrong with him and his company. Well, they tried the BS of saying he's too rich and he should be taxed more when he became the highest taxpayer in history. They couldn't use that narrative anymore. When the World Hunger Team called him out on Twitter and said that if he gave $6 billion to them, they could feed the planet, he also called them out and said, show me how and I'll do it. And then, of course, they backed off as well. So what's left? And I mean really, left? Tesla and Elon Musk must be racist. So California recently filed a lawsuit against Tesla stating the company has been holding black people back from positions and treating them differently than all the other employees. Why? Well, because they're racist, of course. Yeah, right. In the lawsuit, a California civil rights organization filed against them stating they did a 3-year investigation and found, among other things, they kept black workers in the lowest level roles of the company and paid them less than white and other colleagues. And they, of course, denied black workers training and promotion and disciplined them more severely than others. Yeah, I got to tell you, if this was truly a practice of any company, I would say that it should be dealt with. However, I'm skeptical. Why is a civil rights group filing the suit when the Department of Labor isn't? And why isn't an individual person or a group of persons filing a lawsuit against their personal mistreatment? Nope. This is just an attempt to bully Tesla into forming a union and hope they fall for it. Well, knowing Musk, he probably won't. And by the way, to keep me from falling into the same trap, please tell all your black friends right now to watch my show. I really don't appreciate all you white conservatives giving me a bad name by not sharing this show with your black friends. Hit that share button right now, and I will see you in a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Felder Cohn and Larry Steinhouse about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend investor schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. Investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to remind you tonight that we have a meet and greet at Chambers 19 Restaurant in Doylestown. Go there tonight. We'll have a really good time. We'll be there from 7 to 9, and you'll find me at the bar wearing one of my signature jackets and discussing real estate and other investments. And hopefully we will see you there. So my producer reminded me when I went to the commercial, he reminded me that it's Black History Month, and I just thought that was just so appropriate for me to discuss during Black History Month the fact that you guys, all you white conservatives, have not shared this with your black friends, so make sure you do. And by the way, Black History Month, that's racist too. And let me explain why Black History Month is racist. Number one, the fact that blacks can only celebrate their history once a month, one month a year, is racist. And second of all, let's talk about this. It happens to be the shortest month of the year. And that's what they picked for Black History Month? All right, I'm going to go off and go back to the show. All right, so far we've been discussing the futures update. The Dow is up 222 points, the S&P is up 35, and the NASDAQ is up 167. We talked about the Ukraine, and we talked about the war. I say the war is over, but we also talked about interest rates, and we talked about the new smartphone, and of course, Tesla is most definitely racist because you guys aren't sharing the show with your black friends. I don't know. Coming up, today's picks and plays. But first, did you hit that like button yet? Did you hit that share button yet? Hey, let everyone know what great stocks are coming by sharing this information. And of course, you can share it to this page or groups that you feel will benefit from great stock plays. And I'm even hoping I'll see some of you guys tonight. Hey, you can also leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. I haven't seen a comment about this whole racist thing online yet. I'm actually wondering if I'm off Facebook right now because of it. If you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about the politics behind the stock market. Let's talk about what's going on in the stock market. And let's, first of all, of course, yesterday was kind of a day to be expected as the fearmongers controlled the masses and make the stock market drop. I noticed some stocks held up at predicted support levels like Meta, and Meta definitely did not go below 200, and I would have expected that yesterday if that was a problem, and it didn't. So I'm actually thinking that Meta has a support at 200, so it might actually be pretty good. It might be it's the bottom for the damaged company. I've been saying that the company should not have been beaten down as much as it was, and I believe it's going to rebound strong. Home Depot, this was crazy. The company had great earnings report, great guidance, and they increased their dividend, yet the stock dropped almost 9% yesterday. That's really weird. And I have to say, it's a common theme lately, so watch out. The most notable earnings today will be Barclays, eBay, and Chesapeake. Now, I actually expect Chesapeake to do well, but I'm not sure about the others. Lowe's did report this morning, and I noticed it's up just a little bit, but I don't know exactly what the report was. And I wonder, basically if they're going to be beat up the way Home Depot was yesterday. Look, I bought some Boeing yesterday, and because it basically crossed my buy price of 200, and I'll be honest, I'm looking for a fast ramp up to about 215. So I think it's going to go from 200 to 215. You might still be able to get in this morning. I'm still into my travel stock plays, and I expect them to rocket soon as the idiot in charge drops the mask mandates on planes. By the way, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but I heard Mike Lindell is coming out with a new mask for liberals, and basically it's a pillow with strings you tie behind your head. He has promised that it's going to end coronavirus forever if all the liberal politicians use it. He claims it might even end the war. All right, right now the futures again are up 218, the S&P is up 33, and the NASDAQ is up 165. Hey, let's talk really quick about crypto and what's going on over there. Crypto is kind of at a price range that might make it attractive again. I'm waiting for Ethereum to drop below 2,000 before I enter it again. Now, for a lot of you guys who are in Ethereum and you go, no, I don't ever want it to drop below 2,000. Well, of course you don't if you own it, but since I don't own it anymore, I want more. So I might buy it if it goes below 2,000. The first time I bought it was at 1,700 and I did pretty well. And I'm going to enter it again. And I'd like to see Bitcoin. I know this is going to make some of you guys crazy too, but I'd like to see Bitcoin below 27,000, and I may pick some up for a quick hit into the 3,500s, because that's probably what will happen. So gold and silver, gold dropped below 1,900 again. It's kind of a weird metal. So gold and silver, basically, they both move really slow. But when it moves, it jumps. So you'll see that like gold and silver will make big jumps when they make their jumps. So just wait for it, watch it. I actually said, and I have to check this out. It was about 9 months ago that I said, everyone sell your crypto and buy gold, and I'm curious to see if that's actually working. We can see the crypto's going down, but I don't know if the gold moved up. I can't remember what it was when I said that. I have to go back to that post and take a look. So Treasury bonds, the Treasury bond is moving back to the 2% again. I got to tell you, I'm pretty sure Wall Street's getting used to it, so it's not as bad as it was before. We're not getting those problems anymore. Hey, I want to remind you once again that we have that meet and greet tonight at Chambers 19 Restaurant in Doylestown. I'm telling you, you want to be there. It's a lot of fun. We'll be there from 7 to 9, and you'll find me, like I said, you'll find me at the bar wearing one of my jackets, and we'll be discussing real estate. We'll be discussing other investments. We'll be discussing everything, and I want you to definitely be there because you're going to have a lot of fun when you come. We always have fun, and there's nothing more fun than a drunken stock market predictor. So you get to ask me all these questions while I'm drunk. Nah, that's not really true, but it's kind of fun, right? Hey, once again, I want to thank all the listeners on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia, and I want to thank you for your continued support. If you're enjoying the show, please reach out and let us know. You can leave comments on the WWDB fan page on Facebook, and you can look for us online. My name, of course, is Larry Steinhouse. I'm the host of Money Chat Now, and I'm also the CEO of Investor Schooling. All right, so from time to time, as you know, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show, and the opinions discussed in this show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. And pretty soon that several people are going to stop asking me to discuss them. I want to remind you once again, besides tonight, have you registered for our special event on April 24th? We're having a bunch of great people, including Bill Spadea of New Jersey 101.5 and other special guests, and we're going to be discussing finances and constitutional freedoms. If you want to find out more about that, go to the number 4mmw.com, number 4mmw.com, and join us there on the 24th. And you guys have a profitable day.